What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Dgotsauce back with another live stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all viewership as always, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if y'all are new. Hope y'all are doing well, man. Real talk, bro. I always hope y'all are doing well. A lot has been happening today. Not only today, this week. It's been what I streamed on Monday. Today's Wednesday. So yeah, it's been a couple days. It's been a couple days, man. Not much has changed, man. And episode number 5. Episode number 5, by the way. We moving on up. Share. We moving on up, man. We on episode number 5, man. It feels great to be back, man. It's been a blessed week for me. Just been trying to make sure that I'm staying consistent, of course. And it's been working out, man. It's really been working out. Y'all have been showing so much love. So much love this week, man. Last stream, I wasn't even at 250 subscribers. Now I'm at like 265, 266. Like, the amount of support that y'all been giving me these past couple of weeks is insane, man. And it just makes me want to continue. It makes me want to grow. It makes me want to go harder. That's what I'm gonna do, man. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what we're here to do. We here to break barriers, man. This is not the first time I've been in this position to where I had to prove to myself that I could do this, that I could be consistent. We've been here before. And it's a matter of just doing it again. And again, I can't do it without y'all, so I really do appreciate y'all. And I hope that you guys are enjoying the content. And the more and more that I stream, the more and more, the better that I'll get. The more active we will get as a community. More we'll grow, man. More we will grow. But yeah, like I said, man, I hope you guys are doing well. We are gonna get into the episode. I'm not gonna be here long tonight. Got a few things that I want to talk about and review and go over. A couple of things with Cuba. There's some more stuff about Trump and the Epstein files. Obviously, a leader in Iran was killed today as well, or yesterday. So there's a good amount of stuff to still talk about. TSA is going crazy. People are calling out. People are lining up at the food banks to get their food for their kids because they ain't getting paid because the government shut down. A lot of stuff is happening in the United States, or with the United States involved, and um it's like the news just does not stop. It's constant. It's every day. There's something to talk about. So we're gonna continue to cover it, man. We're gonna continue to cover it, and we're gonna continue to bring our own unique touch to it, and yeah, have a good time at the same time, man. Thank you guys for tuning in again. Make sure y'all hit that like button for your boy, man, as we start to get into this first subject of the night, man. We're gonna bring it to Cuba. Cuba is going crazy right now. Trump is talking about he's finna take over Cuba. He could do whatever he want with Cuba. He feel like Cuba is already his, in a sense. He don't even. He's like, we'll worry about Cuba after this Iran war. And it's a bit of cockiness. I gotta say, he's very confident right now because a lot of things are going his way. But in my opinion, he's not doing so great on the Iran war as it may look. I think obviously he expected better, and I think a lot of people expected better. But Iran is fighting. They're fighting for their lives, and they're not giving up. They have a spirit that you can't just walk over and take over, and they're proving it. They're proving it every single day. They're fighting back, and Israel's really in for a lot of mess. If Israel didn't have the United States backing them, we probably would have seen a lot worse happening in Israel right now. It's kind of the same situation as Ukraine. If Ukraine didn't have a lot of support with pretty much the whole of NATO, Ukraine would have been gone by now. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's the same thing with Israel. If Israel didn't have the support of U.S. and NATO, kind of, they would have been gone by now. They either would have been gone by now, or they would have been dropping nukes, because apparently they got nukes. But this is about Cuba, man. This is about Cuba. We're gonna start off with Cuba. Cuba's in a crisis right now. And yeah, a lot is happening, man. They're having blackouts over there. People are starving. They can't store their food, nothing like that, man. So let's tune into the video. Let's see what's going on out here in these streets, man.
All eyes are on Cuba as the world waits to see what will happen to the leaders and the people of the Caribbean island nation. President Trump says he wants to take action, while the leaders of the country remain defiant. At first glance, life in Cuba's capital of Havana feels familiar. The famous Malecon Avenue by the sea, the colorful buildings and antique cars. But these street scenes, quieter than just a few months ago, disguise a city and a nation now in crisis.
The power hasn't come back on at my house, and we've been about 12 hours without lights. And, well, I plan to face the day as usual, just as Cubans do.
This week, the country faced the third wide-scale failure of its power grid since December. Without enough gas, less than half of Havana's trash trucks are allowed to run. Piles of garbage spill over into the historic streets. And as the sun sets, a now routine darkness takes over, with 10 million people left without light, pitch-black streets, and no electricity to cook the little food people are able to find.
We are two older people, both in our 70s, and she's also sick. Our food has spoiled. I'm boiling 3 pieces of chicken to try and save something to eat because the situation is really bad.
Really bad, really bad. We have nothing left. We're doing really bad, and I just want to die so I can get some rest from this country. May God forgive me for speaking like this.
She said she'd rather die than be there. That's some serious wishful thinking right there. I'd rather die than have to deal with this country anymore. Cuba's in a whole mess, man. It's not good over there, apparently. And we'll see if the United States is going to actually come in and swoop in and save the day, or make it even worse.
Cuba has long dealt with blackouts, a system hampered by an aging power grid, U.S. sanctions, and fuel shortages, was further crippled after an American raid in Venezuela, Cuba's ally, led to a total energy blockade and to ramped up threats from President Trump.
Taking Cuba, I mean, whether I free it, take it, I think I could do anything I want with it. You want to know the truth? They're a very weakened nation right now.
A message echoed by Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
So they're in a lot of trouble. And the people in charge, they don't know how to fix it. So they have to get new people in charge.
Back on the
Bud Russell says we need to free Cuba, man. Cuba needs everything and anything they can get right now.
Island, anxiety about what comes next.
What will happen to Cuba, the world asks. And we're also here at this moment saying to ourselves, what will happen to us? But I truly believe, there will be dialogue and understanding.
And defying President Trump's sanctions, 2 tankers carrying crude oil are on their way to Cuba after Russia declared its unwavering solidarity. To share more about the evolving situation in Cuba, including the political stakes, I'm joined by Lillian Guerra, a professor of Cuban and Caribbean history at the University of Florida.
So it's a matter of time, because I feel like also Russia does want a part of Cuba too. They want to be involved in that. They don't want Cuba to go to. You can't have Cuba and Venezuela. They don't want Cuba to go to the U.S. too, because That's just more land for the U.S. to put their bombs on and their machinery on and their army on. So it makes sense. But let me know y'all thoughts.
Professor Gator, welcome to the News Hour. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So at the end of that report, you heard a little bit of hope from that gentleman there about dialogue between the U.S. and the Cuban government. What do we know about those talks and what could come of them?
Well, first, we know very little about the talks. We know that there are two major members of the Castro family who have been the spokespeople, allegedly. At least one of them is the grandson of Raul Castro, and the other has a similar relationship. He's the grandnephew of both Fidel and Raul. Now, both of these men have very, very high ranks in what is GAESA, the Cuban military's corporate conglomerate that really controls 80% of the economy. And they have no legitimacy in the eyes of the Cuban people. It is important to note, though, that because they control the economy and they also control the armed forces, they are...
Y'all can say whatever y'all want in the chat. Just don't say nothing crazy, all right? That's all I'm asking.
Are apparently the ones that Trump's administration is turning to in order to negotiate some form of transition. And I find that very problematic, like, along with probably a majority of Cubans in this country and those on the island.
So put that together.
They saying this is what New York is about to turn into. And in my opinion, it's not as bad as Cuba yet. But they're trying to do some major moves in New York that is going to be a lot of government funding involved. Together
with the U.S. calls for a change in leadership in Cuba, could one of these people involved in the talks now be in charge, and what would that look like?
In fact, one of them, Oscar Perez Oliva Fraga, is often called the economy czar, and he was put forward as early as November of 2025 by the Cuban Communist Party itself as a replacement for President Miguel Díaz-Canel when he completes his term in office. So if he were to take power, it would actually be exactly what the Cuban Communist Party would like. I think that right now, we don't know exactly what is next. And the Cuban people don't know either, because they often don't have electricity and can't charge their phones. They don't have access to television. Their government censors the news. So they're really reliant in many ways on social media and word of mouth to find out what's happening. I think that the best case scenario would be one in which the Cuban government would finally do something to alleviate the economic and political repression on the island by simply saying that they will agree to legalize opposition political parties, and that in some way or another they will reduce the management of the economy by the armed forces, which really should have no role in managing the economy.
We should point out,
I really want to know what the other side of the aisle is saying. Like, what is the United States gonna ask of Cuba? Because it's not gonna just be, oh yeah, you just got to get rid of this regime, or you got to get rid of this government, and then everything is all good. Y'all do y'all thing. No, they're gonna want something out of this, and I'm wondering how much they're trying to give up for the United States to completely pretty much take over like Venezuela did. Because in Venezuela, I've heard they're doing a lot better right now. I've heard they're doing a lot better. More money is coming in. Things are moving more efficiently. Not saying that it wasn't moving efficiently before. It's just running a lot more efficiently now that they got the U.S. backing behind them. But they had to give up a lot to get that support. They had to do a lot to get that support, and they didn't. It wasn't by choice at the same time.
To a lot of people in Cuba rely on family members outside of the country to send in supplies, to send in money to help sustain them. How does all of that impact the Cuban economy, and what does that look like now?
Yes, actually, if Marco Rubio is right about one thing, it is that there is still a subsidy in Cuba, and that subsidies are what the Cuban government has been dependent on. So that subsidy is the billions of dollars a year in goods and in cash that Cubans like myself send their relatives, and we will find any way to do so. A lot of money comes in simply with mules, which are people who travel to Cuba from Colombia, from Mexico, from from New York, wherever they can travel, and they charge a commission and they bring in things for our family. We are allegedly, according to many economists' measures, supporting about 40% of the population. I think that part of the problem with that scenario in general is that not everybody has family abroad, and the vast majority of Black Cubans, who comprise at least 40 to 50% of the population, do not have family abroad. It's more than poverty, it's immiseration. And all we have are different degrees of immiseration among the Cuban people.
Professor, I've got about...
It sounds like they're living in a pretty much poverty over there. Obviously, the wealthy are living probably good. You know, those that have a decent job or whatever. But it seems like a lot, or the majority of people over there are living like below the average. And that's sad to hear, man. That's not even just Cuba, obviously. That's a lot of places, man. That's a lot of islands. A lot of people are poor. A lot of people ain't making enough money. A lot of people are not making ends meet. But to put this on top of it, not being able to have electricity for a few hours or days at a time, and this thing is happening multiple times a month, like, that stuff has to get taken care of. Like, what is I would be pissed. I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed if I come to my house and I don't have electricity. It wasn't last week, it was like 2 weeks ago. I had a big snowstorm in Boston, 20-something inches. Lights were out. And I got electricity. I got electrical heating. I got electrical water heating. Everything is electric in my house. And I have solar to try to, you know, calm down the bill. But when the electricity went out, I could see my breath. At least in Cuba, it's warm over there. It wasn't so warm over here. I was pissed. So I was pissed. I could imagine how they feel.
30 seconds left, but I have to ask, Cuba's faced crises before. Do you see this one leading to real change in the country?
I think that something will happen because expectations are extremely high, both on the island and in South Florida. And frankly, the longer it takes to come to some decision, the more likely it is that Cubans will take to the streets and start attacking the Cuban Communist Party headquarters in different places and perhaps simply confront the state themselves. And that would be devastating, I think, because nobody has weapons in Cuba. All they have are their ideals.
That is Professor Lillian Guerra of the University of Florida joining us tonight. Professor, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Listen, man, let me know y'all thoughts about this down in the comments below. I'd really like to know y'all thoughts, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all viewership, of course, man. Hit that like button for your boy. And if y'all are new, that subscribe button too, man. I'd appreciate it, man. I wouldn't want to live in Cuba. Be honest with you, man. I wouldn't want to be there right now. It seems like they're going through it. Seems like a lot of people are starving. You know, that's only gonna cause more chaos at the end of the day. Like, people are gonna get hungry. They're gonna get more aggressive. They're gonna get more agitated. They're going to try to break into your house, try to take what you got. If you living good, it's gonna get worse and worse if this doesn't get fixed. The first thing they should do is build up that infrastructure, the electrical infrastructure, and make sure that everybody's getting power effectively and efficiently, like without no problems. Like, that should have been updated a while ago, man. It's 2026, man. I know they got some money. They got some money. The leaders can't have it all, man. You gotta give some back to the country, man. You gotta give back some to the country. Cuba imports all of its food and all of its fuel. That's unfortunate. Cuba don't got no land. They don't have no land they can grow their fruits and vegetables on, at least. It should be able to do that. I mean, at the bare minimum. At the bare minimum. They got a bad deal in Cuba. And hopefully it gets better soon, man. That's tough. That's tough. Hopefully it gets better soon. I'm not sure exactly when it's going to happen, but we just hoping it happens soon, man. We hoping it happens soon. The Cuban government pays poverty wages. I believe it. I believe it. I actually believe it. It's an island. It doesn't have much, you know. It don't have much. They don't have much they can work with over there. But sometimes you need to sacrifice, you know, something to make your country better, you know. How much are you willing to sacrifice? That's going to be up to the Cuban people. It's going to be up to the Cuban people. But thank you guys for tuning in. I really do appreciate y'all, man, for real. Make sure you guys hit that like button if y'all are enjoying the show. Y'all are enjoying the episode, man. We going to get into the next subject, and this is related back into Operation Epic Fury. Say it like Trump. Epic Fury. He thinks it's epic. In my opinion, it's not that epic. But let's see what's going on here, man. A top Iranian leader was killed by Israel and the United States. Let's tune into the video, see what's going on out here in these streets.
U.S. forces are escalating strikes on Iran, targeting key missile sites near a critical global shipping route. CENTCOM says American forces used 5,000-pound bunker buster bombs to take out hardened Iranian missile sites along the Strait of Hormuz. Officials say those sites housed anti-ship missiles that posed a direct threat to international shipping, including a major share of the world's oil supply. The strikes do come as President Trump blasted NATO allies for refusing to step in despite their support for the mission and the years of U.S. support to them.
I think NATO's making a very foolish mistake, and I've long said that, you know, I wonder whether or not NATO would ever be there for us. So this was a great test, because we don't need them, but they should have been there.
The president also said he's not currently considering pulling out of NATO, but if he did, it would also require congressional authorization.
It is 9 minutes past the hour. New questions have arisen this morning on who actually is in charge.
I got a poll going on in the chat, man. Y'all let me know. Do y'all believe Trump is doing a good job, or y'all believe Trump is doing a bad job? And let me know y'all thoughts at the same time, man. Let's continue.
Of the Iranian regime following the death of a high-ranking official there. In the past 24 hours, Israel took out one of the top security officials during an airstrike. We told you about this as breaking news when this happened yesterday. He was widely believed to be running the nation following the death of the supreme leader at the start of the war. He was one of the top aides when it came to strategy and had been part of the nuclear deal talks between the United States and Iran earlier this year. The IDF vowing to keep hunting down any possible leaders.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and I have instructed the IDF to continue hunting the leadership of the terror and repression regime in Iran and to repeatedly sever the head of the octopus and not allow it to grow.
In response to the killing of the Iranian leader, a wave of retaliatory strikes were launched across Israel. You can see in this video, this is a cluster of bombs. You see right here, it looks like almost like fireworks in the night sky, and this is intended to get past the Iron Dome, and some actually have, and those missiles have come into the country there. 2 deaths have been reported in Tel Aviv right now. Meantime, the State Department ordering all U.S. embassies worldwide to review security protocols. The order from Secretary of State Marco Rubio advising all posts worldwide to identify any threats and plans of action to neutralize those threats.
You guys know this. One of the president's guiding principles is fairness, and he's long called out NATO for being what he believes sometimes an unfair alliance for the American taxpayer and our American military. You look at the billions of dollars we spend housing U.S. troops on the soil of our NATO ally countries. That's a benefit to them because it serves as a deterrent from our adversaries around the world. If you look at our unfair trade deals with many of our NATO allies, the president and his trade team have obviously worked to rectify those new trade deals with the UK, with the EU. The president wants all of our alliances to be fair for the American people, for the American taxpayer, and I think he's right to call on them to step up and do more in this time.
You know what Trump is doing here with that? situation, I gotta say is pretty smart. All right, he's forcing them to play their cards. Pretty much. He's like, you either gonna play your cards or we not rocking with you no more. And that's kind of the energy that Russia's doing. That's kind of the energy that China's doing. They're working together to get their goals accomplished, whether that's with Taiwan or Ukraine. What is NATO gonna do? What is NATO gonna do? At the same time, it's a bad play because they never had nothing to do with this in the first place, and now you dragging them in here and you asking them for support when they really didn't want to do this in the first place. They had the chance to do it. Matter of fact, they're closer. They're closer. So they had the chance to do this, but they chose not to, and you got to put that into perspective too.
Question, leave that to others, which is very simply, can the president declare this war effort a success if the U.S. does not retrieve Iran's nuclear fuel?
Look, that's something the president has refused to comment on. It's an option on the table for him, but I'm not going to comment on it or take it off the table. We've defined the objectives of Operation Epic Fury very clearly, which is, of course, to wipe out Iran's ballistic missile arsenal, which we have been very successful
First Avenger says MAGA equals morons against government accountability.
in doing. We've achieved dominance over the skies of Iran, to annihilate their navy, which we have done. According to CENTCOM this morning, I received the updated numbers. More than 120 naval vessels are at the bottom of the sea because of our United States Armed Forces. That's a great thing for the American people. That's a great thing for our allies in the region. And of course, to ensure that, yes, Iran cannot permanently cannot possess a nuclear weapon is something this president has long said for decades, but I'm not going to forecast or remove any future options off the table. Look, again, we're in a place right now where we're ensuring that Iran can no longer threaten the United States of America, and the United States military is doing a tremendous job at achieving these objectives. Jack Caroline.
Y'all, please let me know y'all thoughts down in the comments below. I'd really like to know y'all thoughts, man.
Is Tulsi Gabbard's job in jeopardy right now, given the Joe Penn stuff?
Not to my knowledge. I haven't heard the president say that, nor have I heard him say that. So obviously that's a question for him, but I haven't heard him to say that at all.
And can you give us an update on what you're hearing from the Chinese about when this trip might be rescheduled?
We're working with them. They have agreed to postpone the trip. I think they understand the president's rationale for doing so. But again, we're working on those dates. The president has some things here at home in May that he has to attend to, and I'm sure President Xi is a very busy man as well. So we'll get the dates on the books as soon as we can, and we'll keep all of you posted.
Caroline, given that the allies seem to have rebuffed the president's request for help, and now he says he no longer needs their help,
stop lying.
What is the plan to reopen the Strait of Hormuz quickly?
The president is going to continue to talk to our allies, both in Europe and also in the Gulf and Arab region. The United States military has a lot of capabilities, as you have seen play out over the last 18 days. They still do have tricks up their sleeve. I won't broadcast them for the media, but rest assured there is a plan. They're working on it. We have seen some progress with respect to that, but of course the president...
You can't say there is a plan and they're working on it in the same sentence. You can't say that. It's either there's a plan or they working on a plan. So this is what I mean by, like, this epic fury is not really what it sounds like. It's not really what it sounds like. Heather Black says, what allies? He's trying to gather the troops, but nobody's trying to help out. And it makes sense. Like, why would you now... You started this thing, and now you want to bring us into it as if we asked you to start this thing. And now you in it, you looking for help. That don't mean I gotta help. Like, this is not our war. It's not even the United States war, but of course we in it now.
Again, continues to call on our allies to step up and do more. Nancy.
Caroline, a couple of questions on Joe Penn. The White House was warned.
See that 33 votes are in right now. Y'all are saying Trump is doing a terrible job.
Last year when the president
64%.
That he had a history of embracing conspiracy theories, that he had some ties to white nationalists.
president spoke on this a little bit yesterday in the Oval Office. He said he always thought Joe Kent was a good guy, obviously has a commendable military record and experience. However, he was not someone who was involved in the presidential daily brief, part of the president's intelligence briefings over the last several months. Have not seen him here at the White House for quite some time, and the president feels it's deeply disappointing that after the president gave him an opportunity in this administration to serve the American people, that he would resign with a letter filled with falsehoods, accusing the president of the United States by being controlled by a foreign country. That's both insulting and laughable all at the same time. The president is the leader of the most powerful country and military in the world. Nobody tells him what to do. He makes decisions based on what's in the best interest of this country.
Sorry, the president said yesterday that he always thought Kent was weak on security. Why would he name someone to run the counterterrorism center who he thought was weak on security?
Again, I just told you, the president gave Joe Kent a chance. He thought he was a good guy with good military experience, and unfortunately, he proved he was not up for the job. And we don't want somebody leading the counterterrorism task force who cannot agree that the #1 state sponsor of terror in this world did not pose a threat to the United States. That's what.
But that's your opinion, because in a lot of other people's opinion, in my opinion personally, I'm choosing Russia as the #1 threat. I don't know about y'all. Y'all can let me know how y'all feel, but I pick Russia. Iran, not so much. Let's be honest here. Like, we're talking about levels to this. You don't want to deal with Russia, but you want to take out Iran. Come on, man.
Another falsehood he said in his letter of resignation, which is just unequivocally false. It's backed by intelligence. It's backed by the fact that Iran was building ballistic missiles at a rapid rate to build a shield of immunity so they could build a nuclear bomb. And it's backed by the fact that the president of the United States made the decision to attack Iran before they could attack American troops and our assets and bases in the region. And that was, of course, a good decision, not just for the United States, but for the rest of the world. It should be commended. It should not be degraded in the form of a resignation letter that's riddled with lies. Thank you.
Let me know y'all thoughts about that down in the comments below, man. I'd really like to know y'all thoughts. Homeland Security headquarters for the U.S. is Israel. Real. Doing. I don't know why Israel has such a chokehold on the United States. But man, they are getting whatever they want. I thought Ukraine was getting whatever they wanted with Joe Biden. But this is next level. Like, they're not defending themselves. They're attacking. They're attacking. So that's insane. Honestly, I'm praying for peace. Obviously, we don't want to be in wars, but this is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous. So I was scavenging. Should I say scavenging? Nah, I don't want to say scavenging. I was on the internet looking, and this is some of the videos that came across my timeline about all the wars that are going on, like what the bombs are looking like, all that stuff. Hold up, what it going down says, girl, he said he got them nukes in the 12-day war. Epstein. We're gonna talk about Epstein. We're gonna get into that. But I came across this video of like what is actually going on in the Middle East. What are the bombs looking like? Where are they being dropped? Stuff actually being blown up. Is people actually dying? And yeah, they are. You know, it's not that I didn't believe it. It's just that I haven't seen it. You know, I've just only heard about it really. And they're dying in Tel Aviv too. They're dying in Israel as well. And it's really sad to see all this, man. It really is sad to see all this. But this is a little bit of what is going on over there and how people are moving on the ground in Israel and Iran. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate y'all. That's a cluster bomb. Look like fireworks. Oh, y'all can't even hear it. My bad. My bad. Y'all can't even hear it. It's a bunch of sirens going off. I think Trump thinks all people are stupid. Good evening, Flavor Fred. Thank you for tuning in. Dgotsauce says. We're gonna get into Epstein soon. We're gonna get into Epstein soon.
Rockets. And when people say smaller rocket, this is the result.
We're standing in an apartment in central Israel where two 70-year-old elders were killed by one rocket out of a cluster bomb. This cluster bomb was fired by the Iranian regime towards a center of mass population, firing dozens of rockets towards the civilians, targeting purposely the civilians. This is a war crime by the Iranian regime, both targeting the civilians, both using this indiscriminate type of firing towards civilians.
Charlie James says Trump lost the Iran war. Last thing I heard, he said he won. No more Israel wars. I agree. I agree with that. Epic fury. These are bombs being hit in Israel, by the way.
We have different answers to different types of munitions. We're doing everything we can to protect Israelis.
This is a war crime when they killed 2 elderly people in Israel, but when they blew up 180 kids in Iran in the school, that's not a war crime.
Civilians, and this clarifies more than everything the need to stop this Iranian regime that is indiscriminately targeting civilians.
Please don't spam. Please don't spam. Exactly.
Okay. We're doing everything we can to intercept the missiles as high as possible to minimize the damage, and we have different layers. The most important and most effective is offensive capabilities. We've been degrading their ability to fire missiles, active defense systems, and the passive defense systems, sirens and people going to the safe rooms. The combination of all of that has had great success, but still not perfect. People in Israel have to listen to the Home Front Command guidelines, and this Iranian regime must be stopped.
Y'all started it. Y'all, honestly, y'all started this one at least. Y'all started it. And y'all expect people to come and support y'all. Y'all expect people to be okay. Y'all expect y'all is gonna all survive. Nah, there's gonna be a lot of I think in a sense they did a smart thing by attacking them first. They attacked some of their headquarters where the bombs are coming out of, because they pretty much stopped them from unleashing tens of thousands of rockets instead of just a couple hundred. But they still got a lot of weapons that y'all have not even seen yet, and it's just getting started, bro. This thing is just getting started. So what about Palestine? It's not looking good, man. This is not looking good. My thing is, right? Oops, sorry. My thing is, right? What's gonna happen when the rest of the Middle Eastern countries come together and they say, you know what, we ain't taking this no more from. What's gonna happen then? They're not gonna have a choice but to either bow down or get completely eliminated. And I think that's the same thing that's gonna happen with Ukraine, unfortunately. They're gonna have to come to the point to where they either gotta bow down or they're gonna get completely eliminated. I don't think Iran is going to bow down. I don't think that they're going. This might cause World War III. It could possibly cause World War III. But I don't think Iran is gonna bow down. I don't see them. I think that the United States should have minded their business about this one. I think they should have stayed out of it. I think they should have stayed out of a lot of the wars. But unfortunately, we are here. We are here now. Unfortunately. And it's driving up costs. It's driving up prices for gas. It's driving up prices for food. And this stuff is it's hurting American pockets. It's hurting a lot of people's pockets. Whether they like to admit it or not, whether you support them or not, it's hurting a lot of his supporters too. It's hurting a lot of them. But let me know y'all thoughts about this down in the comments below. I'd really like to know y'all. Double tap that screen for your boy. I really would appreciate it. And subscribe if y'all are new, if y'all are enjoying the show, man. If y'all are enjoying the show, we'll be thrown out of the countries which expect cause more loss. It's true. It's true. We're doing all of this for what? What is the end result? In my opinion, what is the end result? Y'all looking for the Middle East to be completely gone, or y'all just looking for them to be able to vote? What's the point? What's the point? It can't just be about nuclear. No, that's what they've been saying, but it can't just be about that. It can't just be about that. We're gonna pivot. We're gonna pivot real quick. And we're gonna talk about what Donald Trump's idea, or what his solution for the raising of gas prices is going to be. Let's tune into the video, see what's going on out here in streets.
President Trump is temporarily waiving a 100-year-old law to try and ease rising energy costs. He issued a 60-day waiver of the Jones Act, which says all goods traveling between U.S. ports must be U.S. built, crewed, and flagged. The Trump administration says lifting the restriction will better allow oil and natural gas to flow freely to the U.S. and alleviate disruption the war in Iran is bringing to the global oil market. But the Nonpartisan Policy Institute Center for American Progress estimates waiving the law could only reduce gas prices by 3 cents a gallon. CBS News Money Watch reporter Megan Cerullo joins me now. Can you help us understand a bit more why this conflict is driving oil prices up across the board, considering the U.S. doesn't get a lot of its oil from Iran or through the Strait of Hormuz anyway?
Oil is a globally traded commodity, and so its price is determined by the global market. Its provenance doesn't matter. There's one global price for oil. And so when you have a disruption like the one we're seeing in the Strait of Hormuz, through which 20% of the oil supply typically travels, that's going to cause prices to rise significantly. The U.S. is the world's largest producer of oil. It produces 13 million barrels a day. It exports 11 million of those, and the U.S. is also an importer of crude oil. So the gas that you're...
Last month was nice. Let me know how y'all feel about it. But I know last month, the gas prices, it cost me like $20 to fill up a tank, man. $20. Now it's costing me more like 30, 35 again. It's going back up. I feel like we under Biden again. Like, damn. What happened, bro?
Using to fuel your car, its source was probably imported oil, and that's because refineries in the U.S. are set up to process the kind of heavy crude oil we import.
Wow. Okay. So what are some people who are driving every day who, you know, I mean, are filling up their tank and they're noticing that total go up and up? What can they do?
Demand for gasoline is inelastic. If you have to drive to get to work, you can't stop driving. So that's not a tip I'm going to offer you. But you can check your tire pressure and make sure your tires are not underinflated, because that can lead to you consuming more gas than is necessary.
Check your tire pressure is the best advice you could give me for the gas prices going up?
Steadily. Drive gently, as one expert put it. Don't accelerate quickly and start and stop, because that uses a lot of gas. And finally, get all the junk out of your trunk. Lighten the load and make sure you're not...
I know. I'm complaining about $30. It's not a lot, but I know some people that are paying way more than that.
Driving a vehicle that's heavier than it needs
$20
to be
is even
to
better.
conserve fuel.
Okay.
$20 is even better. Listen, I appreciate your advice, man, but I'm not going to drive slower. I'm not going to have to check my tire pressure, make sure that I'm driving efficiently. No, okay? I just need the gas prices to go back down. That's really all I need. That's all we asking for. All right? But thank you for your advice, man. We listened, at least. Let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Why is the U.S. exporting when we need it here? That's what I was wondering too. If we make so much oil here, why are we trying to export oil into? Is it a different type of oil? Maybe it's probably a different type of. They probably got that good stuff outside of the U.S. They probably got that good stuff. That woman crazy. All right. Cool. All right. Let's move on. Where we at here? We're gonna talk about Epstein. Let's talk about Epstein, and then we're gonna finish off with the TSA. Because the TSA employees are they're getting screwed right now. They're getting screwed, unfortunately. I would not want to be a TSA member or someone of the government, honestly. At this point, they need to make sure that the leaders in the House also don't get paid. if the government shut down, ain't nobody getting paid. It don't not just with TSA or those jobs that don't really seem like they need to be getting paid. Everyone, Congress, the senators, president, the assistants, all y'all shouldn't be getting paid. And then y'all wouldn't shut down the government. That's a fact. Even before he had the Strait of Hormuz shut down, he pretty much eliminated all of his global trading partners anyways. It's true. By taxing them out the woo-op. I wonder if that was his plan. To tax him out the woo-op, then use all the tax money he got just to blow up Iran. This is wild, man. It's looking like it's a joke. Honestly, it's looking like it's a joke. You know, it's 2026, man. 2026. Oil change crude. That makes more sense, Cat, at least. Not drive more slower and check your fuel and check your air pressure tire. Alberta, Canada went from 125 to 155. That's I haven't seen 125 in a minute. I haven't seen that in a while. Wow. That's beautiful though. Still 155 a gallon is beautiful. Yeah. Shout outs to Canada, man. Beautiful country. We're gonna get into the next subject, man. Y'all been asking for this. So we gonna bring it up. There is more evidence leading to Donald Trump being guilty of something in the Epstein files. I know this war is going on. It's a big distraction. But people ain't going to forget about this. People is not going to stop talking about it. And we're going to end up finding out eventually. It might not be in the next 3 years, but we might find out, and we will eventually find out what is really going on and if we going to lock some people up or what when it comes to this Epstein case. Let's tune into the video, y'all, and see what's going on out here in these streets, man. Oh my gosh, you guys can't hear it. My bad. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's. I'm gonna just start it over. Forgive me.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to discuss this administration's massive cover-up of the Epstein files in order to conceal President Trump's involvement. This cover-up reached its apex last month when Attorney General Pam Bondi falsely testified under oath before the House Judiciary Committee. The Attorney General testified, quote, "There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that," unquote. This is a lie. In the 3 million or so documents that the DOJ has disclosed to Congress under the Epstein Files Transparency Act, there is credible evidence that Donald Trump committed a crime. And that, of course, excludes the nearly 3 million pages that the DOJ is refusing to turn over. Donald Trump is mentioned thousands of times in the Epstein files. There are multiple allegations that he sexually assaulted young girls. But I want to focus on one victim's allegations that the FBI unquestionably found to be credible. The DOJ tried to hide reports of 3 of the 4 interviews that this victim gave to the FBI, but pressure from the media and Congress forced them to disclose them. And now we know why. She credibly accuses Donald Trump of sexually assaulting her when she was between 13 and 15.
This is disgusting. This is disgusting. This is real life. This is real. This actually happening. This is absolutely disgusting. Allegedly, I want to get sued. This is disgusting.
In each of her interviews, this victim recited the same account of her interaction with Donald Trump. On August 7th, 2019, she explained that she was between 13 and 15 when she was left alone with Donald Trump, who, quote, mentioned something to the effect of, "Let me teach you how little girls are supposed to be." Trump unzipped his pants and put her head down, quote, down to his penis, bit the S out of it. Trump struck the victim and said words to the effect of, "Get this little B the hell out of here." The victim advised that she bit Trump's penis because he disgusted her.
I just want you guys to let this soak in. Let it soak in. Let it marinate a little bit, just in case y'all didn't hear it the first time. Just let it soak in. You know, let it marinate. This is our president. This is our president. Might be screwed.
She provided some additional details in the next interview 2 weeks later, and then a month later, she met again with the FBI and asked, quote, what the point would be of providing the information at this point in her life when there was a strong possibility nothing could be done about it. She didn't speak to the FBI again. But the FBI certainly found her story credible. In a 21-page PowerPoint presentation that the FBI made to prosecutors, they included this victim's testimony. They would not have done so if they did not find the evidence credible, which means that Attorney General Bondi lied when she stated under oath that there is no evidence that Donald Trump committed a crime. But we're just scratching the surface, because the Epstein files also reveal that Donald Trump has made false statements over the past quarter century about Jeffrey Epstein.
I think this is why he's blowing up Iran at this point in time. I think he's trying to cover it up at this point in time. Like, eventually the truth is going to come out. Like I said, it's not going to happen overnight. But he might be dead when it's all said and done. But this is pretty sad, man. I can't lie. This is pretty sad.
We know in 2002, he called him a terrific guy and said, quote, it is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. In a birthday card, 2003, that Donald Trump gave to Jeffrey Epstein for his 50th birthday, Donald wrote for himself that we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Enigmas never aged. Have you noticed that? A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday. And may every day be another wonderful secret.
This is sick.
But in that same year, Palm Beach County opened an investigation into Epstein that eventually was turned over to the FBI.
Now, that's a fact, Heather. That's a fact, Heather Black.
The investigation became public in 2006, and the Palm Beach County Police Chief received a call quickly after from Donald Trump, where Trump told him, thank goodness you're stopping him. Everyone has known he's been doing this. What innocent person calls the police chief about an investigation upon just learning about it? The recent documents also show that Jeffrey Epstein emailed Ghislaine Maxwell and said, quote, "I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Redacted victim spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned." Trump also...
Only haters of him being president is talking shit. I don't know. I'm not a hater. I'm just listening to what's out there. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be too biased to the point to where I can't be like, nah, this ain't right. I can't defend this. I can't defend this. If it was something that's like defendable, like, all right, he slept with a prostitute. Like, nobody really cared about that. Nobody really cared, and that's why he won. But this, and here's the thing, he ran on this. That's what makes it even worse. He ran on it. He said, yo, we gonna drop the files. That's what we gonna do with this campaign. Did he not know he was in the files? Did he not know what he did with Epstein? I'm not looking at facts. So this is fake news. This is fake news. All right.
Denied that he ever went on Epstein's plane.
Allegedly.
But of course, the Southern District of New York said that he was on his plane 8 times, often with young women. The reason why this matters is because we don't have half of the Epstein files. And if the Attorney General is covering this up in such a degree that she is redacting things from Congress, that she then, redacting things from the public that she then shows to Congress, what else is she covering up? And I would just show that this document here was redacted to the public, it was unredacted to Congress, and it completely disputes everything that Donald Trump has said about Jeffrey Epstein, about what he knew about the allegations, about his disgusting behavior, about whether he'd ever been to Epstein's house, saying, I may have been there with my wife. Asked if any young girls were there. No. He may have had children of guests, but that's it. Well, we know that's not the case. Now, why is this important? Because if the Attorney General is covering up this information that she then reveals to Congress, what else is she covering up about Donald Trump's involvement in the Epstein files?
We're going to hear the bottom of it. That's the great part about it. It might not be this year. It might not be next year. It might not be within the presidency of Donald Trump. But we're going to figure out the truth. And hopefully they don't kill the person that has it all. Well, they already did. They got rid of Jeffrey. Hopefully they don't kill the next person that is going to release the next big thing that is going to blow up the world again. Amazing. Amazing. The people that are defending this it's amazing too. I'll be honest with you. It's amazing. It's really, really sad. It lets you know how far we have come as a society where this stuff is okay. It'd be one thing if you support some of the stuff he does. You're like, this is cool, that's cool, this is cool. But when it comes to the negativity or the negative aspects of a good leader, this is not one that you want on your resume. This is not something you want lingering around you. I'm just being honest, man. Let me know y'all thoughts. I appreciate y'all, man, for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Amazing to me. You're like, oh yeah, you're a hater. I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater. This is what they're talking about. You're a hater because you're gullible. You call it what you want, brother. Call it what you want. It better not be true. It better not be true. You must not have kids. You must not have a family. You must not have sisters or relatives. You must not know me. You new here. It's sad, brother. It's sad, man. It's sad. Honestly, like that's to me, that's, you lost me. You lost me. We could have a conversation. We could debate. But when it comes to this stuff, you lost me, bro. You lost me. And let me say this too, all right? Because again, this is all alleged. I don't want this to seem like this is the end all be all. Saying if it is true, this is disgusting. This is disgusting. There's a reason why Jeffrey Epstein ain't here anymore. And it's because he had the answers to every question. He had the answers to every question. All the things we looking to ask and answer, he had those questions answered. He had everything for us. Now we can't. You have a calm demeanor. Thank you. I mean, I've been doing this for a little while. Catwalk is a raised baiter. You're still gullible. I watch your entire mood. Call it what you want, bro. I don't care what you say. I don't care. It's sick. It's sick. It's sick, bro. You defending the worst part of him. If allegedly. Let's make sure we put that in here. But you're defending the worst part of it. You're sick. You're sick. You're sick. I like trolling. I like when the trolls come in because, you know, it gives for good content as well, you know? It gives for good content. But you're sick. You're sick and you're evil. If you think that this is okay. But anyways, let's continue. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you. Make sure you guys hit that like button if y'all are enjoying the show. This is episode number 5. We got one last topic to get into before we get on out of here. I do have to go. We got work in the morning, unfortunately. You know, we're productive over here. We're very productive. And I hope the same for you. But last thing that I want to talk about tonight is we're dealing with another government shutdown. And the TSA officers are calling out sick. They're not showing up to work, not getting paid. And I'd probably do the same thing. I'd probably do the same thing. Let's tune into the video and see what's going on out here in this.
I mean, there's no money coming in, and it's just, I don't know what to do anymore.
TSA officers struggling to survive with no pay, and travelers struggling with fewer security checkpoints as agents call out sick. It's leading to chaos at airports with passengers waiting in security lines for hours. TSA even warning some smaller airports may be forced to shut down. TSA officers missed their first full paycheck over the weekend because of the partial government shutdown. ABC 10 News reporter Karina Vargas found a TSA officer here in San Diego now turning to food drives just to get by.
Listen here, man. We in a whole war right now. And we got people that in TSA working for the government that's funding the war. They can't get food. They can't get food. They're starving. To the point to where they got to go to a food pantry. Get canned food. This is not okay. This is not okay. And this is not the first time that this has happened during this presidency. I understand that people are mad. I understand that people are upset. Things are not going the ways that they want it to go. But if the TSA workers aren't getting paid, so shouldn't the people that voted for the TSA workers to not get paid.
Here at the San Diego International Airport, TSA officers are still showing up to work to keep travelers safe. But behind the scenes, many are struggling to make ends meet.
This is Alondra Galvin, a single mom and a TSA officer currently working without pay because of the partial government shutdown.
Very frustrating for everything from financial restraint to mental instability. I mean, there's times where I'm like, at night, it's like, what am I going to do?
Galvin has been working as a TSA officer for 2 years. She said she's been trying to bounce back from the longest government shutdown in U.S. history last year, where she went without pay for 43 days. Now it's happening all over again.
You know what that feels like to not get paid for 43 days? For 43 days? And you already living paycheck to paycheck. You already behind on bills. You already stressed out. And now you got to go through it again? I think there's more important things to deal with in America. I think there's more important things to deal with than a lot of the nonsense we're dealing with right now.
For her, this shutdown is more than just politics. It's personal.
I'm a single mom, so right now my son usually goes to spring break camps, and I can't afford that right now because, I mean, there's no money coming in, and it's just, I don't know what to do anymore. There's no babysitter.
The union representing TSA workers held a food bank for them. Galvin says anything helps.
It's just eggs and milk and some vegetables and some rice, but I mean, for me, that's what we eat on a daily basis.
Galvin says she's decided to continue going to work, but she doesn't know how much longer she can handle it. She's already starting to look for other jobs to fall back on because financially she's being stretched thin.
I'm up to my last, like, almost $100. I just put gas in my car.
And that's why I'm saying whoever's in control of them not being paid, whoever's signing off on it, they shouldn't get paid as well. Make it fair, because if they don't get paid at the same time, then you can say it's fair. You know, they're sacrificing for the whole team, not just the partial team. They're sacrificing for the whole team. They wouldn't do this if their pockets weren't getting hurt, though.
That was $50. I don't know how I'm going to do it within the next 2 weeks.
The Department of Homeland Security says since the shutdown started, over 350 TSA officers have left the force and more continue to call out. For TSA workers like Galvin, what she wants is for this to end. Karina Vargas, ABC 10 News.
That's sad to hear, man. Honestly, sad to hear. I hope that they get it together very soon, because people don't want to be starving out here in these streets. We want job stability. We want job security. We want to know that, especially when we're flying, we want to know that the airport is safe, that people ain't trying to bring in bombs, and that our TSA workers are happy to be there. to do their job. That's all they're asking to do. And that job is very, very important. Don't get it twisted. It's not just somebody that's just scanning your passport or your ID. This job is a very, very important job. This job helps secure drugs. It helps secure bombs. It helps secure weapons. This job is crucial, especially in the airport. So I don't understand why they would be affected more than. That's tough. That's tough. Izzy Thomas said, hi, hello. I wonder what the agents are being paid. Look it up. Let me look it up. I'm guessing they're getting between like 20 to 30 to $30 an hour. Does TSA agents get paid yearly? Oh my gosh. Okay, all right. Yeah, they make roughly around $26 an hour. About $55,000 a year. So it's a good paying salary. It's not like $100K, but hey, it's something good. It's good. It'll pay some bills. I'd like to, yes, in their wage, I'd curious. Yeah. It's a good paying field, but I guess in some other airports they get paid more, like New York, of course, California. But this is sad, bro. Give these people their paycheck. Stop playing games with their money and get this stuff in order. Honestly, that's one of the things that I would change if I was able to make some rules. Give these people the money that they deserve. That's all. It would be good. It'd be good. They are international security agents to a certain degree. I agree with you. Like, they really do have a purpose. Like no games. Like they make sure guns don't go through. They make sure weapons don't go through. All types of things. They find drugs. Like, TSA is an important role. Like, stop playing with TSA. Play with Congress. Shoot. Play with the Senate. See how they like it. Don't play with the actual people that are being real productive out here. That's all. Catwalk says, yes, sir. Thank you, the Democrats. And they all need to get it together, bro. They all need to get it together, man. Thank you guys again for tuning in. I really do appreciate you. If you did enjoy the show, make sure you guys hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button too, man. If y'all are new, we'll be back. I don't know when's the next time. Definitely Monday I'll be streaming, but I don't know if I'll be back this week. But if not, if I am, turn on your notifications, man. Y'all will see me pop up on your phone or whatever you choose to watch on. And yeah, we'll kick it again. Thank you guys for commenting. Let's see the votes. Y'all said we had 100 votes. 69% says Trump is doing a horrible job. And 31% Trump said, y'all said he's doing a good job. Wow. That is gonna end that poll. We're gonna end that poll. Shout out to y'all, man. Thank you for participating with me, y'all. This was a dope show. I had a fun with you guys today, you men and women. Peace out, Heather Black. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back, man. Until next time, man. Y'all stay positive. Y'all stay motivated. Y'all stay Y'all stay consistent. Y'all go out there and kill it every single day, no matter what it is y'all are doing. Shoot, don't forget to be humble, but at the same time, be very hungry, because it's tough out here in these streets. You gotta sometimes do what you gotta do to survive. You know what I'm saying? Nothing illegal. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just doing what you gotta do as a human being to survive. Putting food on the table, making sure you got a place to stay, making sure you got a career, making sure everything is going smoothly, your family is taken care of, especially if you got kids. Keep consistent, man. Keep consistent. Go out there, kill it, and take over this world one day at a time, man. I love you guys. Till next time, it's your boy Dgotsauce, man. Peace.